Good evening, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of A Word with Pastor Webb. I'm your host, Pastor Webb, and we have a very special guest this evening, Sister Natalie Lee, the CEO of Successfully Created. How you doing?
I'm excellent.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How was the drive?
It was good. Not too far, just 30 minutes.
Did you ride by yourself?
No, I came with my husband and my baby.
Okay, so you brought your entourage.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to prolong the time. Tell me your story. How did you grow up? Who is Natalie Lee?
So I grew up a military kid, and my dad did Army intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
He's the master of weapons of mass destruction for the military.
Wow.
But he's a little teddy bear. So
Wow.
I moved 7 places before I was 5, and in that process, I think it became really adaptable to change. And then I moved here to Florida, and I've been here basically the rest of my life since. But my mom stayed at home with us most of my life, and my dad was constantly away, serving the country in different ways. And I was just someone that always wanted to progress and get better.
Okay.
And so I would consistently in school, that was kind of where I shined. And I graduated second in my class in high school. I did all the clubs. I was in all the things. I was the school mascot, the SGA president. It was in everything. It was unnecessary. It was just seeking greatness everywhere that I could go, and titles.
So let me stop you.
Yeah.
School mascot.
I was a shark, a female shark. I was Sharkette.
Sharkette.
Because I couldn't be a cheerleader. I didn't make the cheerleading team, and I didn't make the flag football team. So I was like, if I'm the mascot, I get to be in all the teams.
Oh, okay.
Even though I'm not athletic. So that's what I did. And then I went to the University of Florida, and I got my master's in international business. I did the combined degree program where you do them both in 4 years. I did like 6 internships during that time. Same thing, just seeking a lot of titles. I didn't know where my worth came from, so I had to find it in other things.
All right.
And through the process, I learned a lot about myself and ended up becoming a district manager at ALDI, the grocery store. Learned a lot there. Very challenging job. Great grocery store. And then started my own company with my husband, thanks to coaches we met along the way, because can't do it all yourself.
Okay, let's go back to district manager of ALDI.
Yeah.
Now, why they don't give you grocery bags?
Because other companies hide the cost of the grocery bags in the product. They're trying to give you the lowest product and give you the choice of saving money. So, yeah.
Okay. I went to ALDI once. So okay. That makes sense.
It's definitely the cheapest place now.
It is. What is your why?
My why is to make memorable moments for other people. And where that kind of came from is just my whole childhood. I was always someone that loved people a lot. And one of the words was care, right?
Okay.
And so I love finding opportunities to make people feel special and to be able to show them that love covers a multitude of sins. And that's kind of my verse for my life.
Wow.
And doing that through little actions, I think that people go a lot of their life being unseen.
Okay. Give me 3 words that best describe who you are and why.
I think 3 words that best describe me is, one is work ethic. I'm definitely a hard worker. I learned that from the examples I had in my parents.
Okay.
I care a lot about people, so I would say care is the other word, and just try to express that through the way I show love to other people. And then I really had a hard time with the third one, so I was like thinking about it for a while, but I would say that the third word that would describe me is I'm driven. I'm looking to expand my capacity in life. I want to achieve what I was put here for.
Okay, you're a go-getter.
Yes.
So hard worker, caring, and a go-getter.
Yeah.
Not pusher, but just a go-getter.
Be a little we're all growing.
Just a little pusher. Huh?
Just a little bit.
Okay. What were your goals coming out of college, and how have they changed since then?
My goal coming out of college was to be the CEO of a company, but I did not see that being my own company.
Okay.
So my last internship was I was doing marketing for Gatorade, and I thought that I was going to be the chief marketing officer for Gatorade, and just like that was going to be my life. And that changed just because I realized when you work for other people, you don't have as much control over your time.
Right.
And I really wanted to be able to make an impact. And I didn't feel like every time you walked out of Gatorade, it's this big sign that said, "Today you fueled athletes." And I just would think to myself, like, is that my mission in life? No. So I ended up doing it somewhere else. But.
Okay. You have accomplished many things. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of who I am, more so than what I've done, and who I spend my life with.
Okay. So yourself and your family, your husband.
The person I've become through the process.
Well, let's talk about your husband.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your husband. What you love about your husband?
I like his hair. What I like about Philip is kind of the same quality that I think is a strength in me, as well as just the consistency of wanting to get better. I met him when I was 15. We started dating when started dating when we were 17. And every year I've dated a different person, because he consistently becomes a new and better person. And that's the finest quality of Philip. He's like fine wine.
So was it love at first sight?
No.
It wasn't.
We were 15, and Philip's shorter than me, and we're 15. We're vain little 15-year-olds, and so we would measure each other in school every single day after school to see who was taller, because I refused to date someone shorter than me. And then at 17, I just got over it, and it's been 7 years, so it's going pretty well. It doesn't really matter.
I love it. I love it. How important is it for people to have a vision for their lives?
Essential if you want to get somewhere. I'd say that you become what you see. My mom was joking about me the other day that I even have pictures in my house of, like, if I want longer hair, of someone with longer hair than me, because you have to see what you want to become that. So we keep things all over our house of where we want to grow to, because I think otherwise you just stay right where you're at, or you become like the people around you, which isn't always what you want either. Right.
Okay. You recently had a baby girl. How's it like being a new mom?
Being a new mom is a lot.
It's a lot, huh?
And any single mom listening to this deserves a cookie, because I don't know how they do it. It's hard work being a mom. But I would also say that being a mom is very sanctifying. Okay. And I've grown to learn more of the heart of Christ by being a mom.
Wow.
Yes.
Expound on how having a daughter made you more like Christ.
I think that the whole process of being pregnant and just having to be selfless for someone, you don't get the choice there, right? Like, if I'm going to throw up, it's not because I wanted to, it's because she is doing whatever she needs to do to become who she needs to be. And so realizing that level of selflessness that comes with being like Christ. And then at the same time, she's not a perfect human, so she hits me, she grabs my hair, she does all that type of stuff. And I think when you have a kid, you also realize the things that your parents went through for you, all the decisions that they had to make that were more focused on you than on them. And that's what he does for us every day. And every day he chooses to forgive us for things that we did that didn't benefit him. And I didn't fully understand that before. Why would you continue to go back to love someone who maybe doesn't love you the same way you love them? So,
is it harder being a wife or being a mom?
Being a mom.
Being a mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why
personally.
So? Why so?
I would say that being a wife, you often choose to do, right? Like, you have to go through the engagement. There's all this preparation time.
Right.
And the other person is hopefully a competent human being to help you through that. Being a mom, sometimes there's surprises, like little Isabella was, so it's not like I was planning for it. So that kind of sets you off. And then on top of that, she's a dependent human being. She can't fend for herself. Right. So you always have to choose her first. Whereas in a relationship, a lot of times you get that option of like, hey, I need this. Can you help me? She cries, it's stop everything. She needs me. Right. So it's different.
So you and Philip, are you planning to have more kids?
Yes. Not anytime.
You have a number, 3, 4?
3 from my body and limitless from fostering and adopting.
Wow.
But 3 max from my body.
Okay. And you just had an event called Freedom Party. Explain what it is and what was it like?
So a freedom party was me getting out of my job. I'd worked really hard to be able to create an asset on the side so I could start my own business while working as a district manager at ALDI, so I could have that option to step away when I had my baby, so I could own my time and be there for her for anything that she needs and for my husband for anything that he needs. And so I'd been working up to that for a while, but the Freedom Party was just a big extravaganza to celebrate that. So I had a limo pick me up from my old job and we went to Ocean Prime. I ate crab legs. My favorite food's crab legs.
Okay.
And then we had a huge boodle fight, which is like a traditional Filipino feast, and all friends came, smashed the alarm clock. It was jazzy. It was good.
Good, okay. But go back and talk about Successfully Created.
Yeah.
And first, let's talk about the title first. Who created the title?
My husband made the name. So our last name's Lee, L-I.
Okay.
So the name is Successfully Created.
Okay.
We play on words a lot.
That's creative. So you plan on keeping this company for a while?
Yes, for the rest of my life.
For the rest of your life. All right, next question. What is it like being a female entrepreneur and running your own business? How's that?
Empowering.
Empowering?
And I think that oftentimes in life, especially as people of color, you don't always get equal opportunity. And when you start your own business, it's your opportunity to create equal opportunity for yourself. If I stayed in the corporate game, you're playing politics, and it's a lot. There's a lot of benefits to it too, but you're playing a game against other people who might have had different resources than you did. But when you start something of your own, it's what you make of it. You can't blame anybody else. It's on you.
I love that. Now, what advice would you give to a young girl or young woman who wants to be an entrepreneur?
Find someone that's willing to help you. I would ask them to call me. That's what would be my advice.
Okay.
Because I think that trying to do things on your own is just wasting time. And none of us are self-made people. We need other people to help us grow into who we can become.
Right. So do you think it's harder for person of color as a female or male to survive in corporate America? Which is harder, a female?
I would say they both have difficult times, but being a woman is just different because and now I have a kid. If I would have stayed at my job, I would have had 6 weeks that I'm not working, then maybe the guy's working and can get more competitive advantages. So at the end of the day, the woman has less advantages, but it's what we focus on, right?
Right.
We can focus on our disadvantages or we can focus on our strengths, because women also have strengths in charisma. We're more, we attract people more to us than men do, and different things like that. So yes, women have more of a disadvantage, but we also have different advantages than men in many ways.
Okay. If you had one wish, what would that be? One wish, not three.
If I had one wish, my wish would be to fulfill the assignment God put on my life. And because in doing that, I would fulfill every wish.
Wow. I like that.
Thank you.
What has been the biggest lesson you have learned in life so far? The biggest lesson?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that life is about becoming selfless, and it's not about us at all, as much as we want it to be.
Okay. What principles do you believe have brought you the most success as a business owner?
Love covers a multitude of sins. Even as a business owner, it's all about loving people, even when things aren't going well. And if you're focused on becoming love, you're becoming more like Christ. And if you're becoming more like Christ, success will follow you.
Oh, you're getting deep on
here.
You're deep on here. Okay, who has been your biggest hero or shero? Who's your role model?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad is everything.
Because he makes nuclear weapons to
no.
mass destruction?
He does strategic planning, but of that. But he's saving us all, so he's doing great work and all of that. But my dad came from nothing, so he was born in the projects of Puerto Rico, which is the hood, and he had everything going against him. He would see people get shot. He would see all types of things. He was living with his great grandma. He just didn't have the support he needed, and he spent most of his life, not most of his life, but most of his teenage years like that, just being lost, being an alcoholic, all that type of stuff. And he went to a church retreat, and it changed his life, and he changed everything about himself. And my dad is not that same person anymore. He's the complete opposite. Teaches a Bible class on Sundays. He went from living in Puerto Rico, which doesn't have as good of opportunities for people, unfortunately, coming over here, giving us a life that we could have only dreamed of.
Right.
And he continues to provide for me, Philip, Isabella, my sister, in ways that we couldn't have imagined. But more importantly, I think he's fulfilled his assignment. And I think that's very respectable.
Right.
Very selfless person.
Selfless, huh? So that's why you carrying a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
so
he's everything.
What are some of the mistakes you made in life that you had to overcome?
mistakes that I've made in life.
Yeah.
I have been way more focused on myself than I should have been for a long time in my life. I think that another mistake was being so caught up in what other people thought of me. And that comes from...
In terms of what? You thought of you in terms of...
In terms of everything, the way you look, the way you act, what will people think if one of the biggest things when I left my job, what will my mom think if I leave my job?
Yeah.
You know, I got my master's and I'm leaving my job, like, what will she say? She didn't have the best things to say, you know?
Right.
Same thing of every step in life, when you're so consumed with other people, it stops you, because who cares what other people think, because other people aren't paying my bills. And other people aren't raising my daughter, and at the end of the day, it's about being an example.
Okay. How has God played a role in your success?
The only role. I mean, he's the one that's given it all to me. But everything that happens in life has had a secret touch of God on it, and you don't always see it. When I left my job, blessings came. Even the other day, last weekend or this weekend, $20,000 came into our life just out of nowhere, and it's because of God. But because of we have also been being good stewards of our resources, tithing, doing the principles that God teaches us, and so the blessings come.
So, what do you tell young folks who say God is not real?
Like, just look at your life, dude. You're alive. You got a pulse. You got a heartbeat. How can you say God's not real? I think that he's everywhere. You might not be able to see him, but you feel him. And I think that if you don't think God is real, it's because you're in a hurting place. And I would advise you to get around other people who show that love, because once you get around that environment, you realize that he's everywhere.
Amen. Preach, girl, preach.
Thank you.
What principles do you believe have brought you the most success as a business owner? What principles?
I hate to be like a broken record, but going back to just being selfless. Being selfless in all areas will reap the reward, not asking for that sale first, building a deeper relationship, because at the end of the day, people want to be seen.
Okay. So what is your 10-year goal? What do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself owning my own plot of land, 50 acres of land, where I can have my house, have a house for my parents, a house for his parents, foster and adopt kids, have an event space in the back where I'm able to host memorable moments for other people, and just do tons of things. Like, we'll do drive-ins, and Isabella will have her own popcorn stand where she'll sell popcorn.
And lemonade.
Yeah, we'll do church retreats. We'll do whatever is put on our heart to do with the resources that we've been given, so that we can make a difference in strengthening lives and strengthening individuals. So that's what I'd be doing.
Any parting words you want to leave with the audience?
I mean, I guess my parting words would be that I would advise people to find someone in life that's where they want to be. And to get them to get in their pocket, follow them, and help them be that example to lead them along the way, because trying to do things by yourself is a broken path.
Okay. Last question. What is the best talk show in the land?
A Word with Pastor Webb.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie, and hope you have a safe trip home. And to my listening audience, may God bless you. Really.